Do I have to say this is not legal tender? This is my site. Whoever wants to go on it, it's their choice. This is only a story in my life. Oh, am I smoking a joint? It's none of your business. Why don't you just come over and take a puff with me? You'll see what it is. Oh, you don't smoke? So then mind your own business. Because I'm not asking you what you do. You see my friend in the background? I had to change his name 3 times already. Do you know why? Because I keep forgetting the last name I gave him. I gave him a name yesterday, but that was Ralph. The day before, I'm not really sure, so that would be 2 days back. So I'm going to give him a name today, so it's today, and I'll give him a name for tomorrow. You see, yesterday and today is 2 days, and today and tomorrow is 2 days. But the whole thing is, I'm in between the whole thing. I'm like being squished in here. I'm out of cigarettes. I have to stop smoking. It's disgusting. You know what these do? You should see what happens if I put on all 4. But I leave a pair up here, and I have a reflector on this side, and I can see directly at the sun. But if I tilt my head, there's 2 little moons that are right here beside the sun. They move. The sun must be held in place. Somehow electronically, or somehow this whole world is more or less Pinocchio. And there's 2 suns sitting over here, what I call 2 cooler moons. Why do I call them cooler moons? Because when the moon looks misty and gray, it's because the water is passing through there. Just like your brain gets green, the moon gets white with mist as the sun gets hot, and they rotate, and they cool down, and the sun gets to use that again, that energy again. It's an oscillating sun. The whole thing is, I looked at a friend of mine, he looks at me and he goes, so? He says, you still seen it? He says, yeah, why don't you put on the glasses? So I give him the pair of glasses, he looks, he goes, yeah. He says, I see it. He says, but you got to really look at it carefully, because if you tilt your head like this, they move. Of course they move. Your 2 eyes are here. Your energy of you is here inside you. The V-neck is the totality of the balance cutting in through you. When Jesus went for the final supper, don't tell me they didn't make Jesus do this for nothing. And it cuts right in. When you turn your head, of course it's going to move, because your eyeball positions have stayed the same in your visual, but inside of you they're not the same. That's why you sometimes look like this and like this. But you don't always get to see the shadow of the mist that sits beside the sun. What I really came on here to do, I don't want anybody to miss my friends. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 arms, I got 2 legs, and I got a body. I got a ticket to ride. Number 4, 4 on this side, 4 on that side. Does that mean they're together? Or should the card just be on like this? And they're on actually the same side. But I got a point here. But I got a point here. They're not in the same position. Isn't that cool? I get 4 different positions with a square. Well, what about the runoff? Or the runoff? There's got to be a runoff, because if it was on the roof, it'd be running off. The eensy-weensy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Oh, what the hell was the spider going up that spout for? What kind of spout was it? What kind of spider was it? Did the spider get washed out because it needs no more electronic hands connected to the body of one, like inside the Matrix? You don't think that exists? Let me tell you one thing. They can make it exist about this big. A square and a square and a square and a square. Why? Because on this angle, you'll always have that point. Like the hexagon, like this and like this and like this and like this. And the egg is lying on its side. The eggs aren't standing. The only time the eggs stand is when you find them in the tray. Or when you crack them open. You ever see yourself cracking open? You crack open the point, and then on the bottom is the U. But in between the 2 sides is the W crack. V, double V, to a U, to a W, to a V. But I didn't come on here to say any of this, because I'm really nervous. Now I have to get this right. Now you have to listen to this. Time cube. Time cube. Now, although I know probably only 5 people are going to see this by tomorrow, and maybe 6 by Wednesday, but it can be 8, 9, and even 12 by Friday. In fact, one of my worst cassettes somehow, just because I marked sex on it, got 100 views in 3 days. That's retarded. I've been doing this all alone. I think somebody clicked it on 100 times, but nobody really reaches past the 2.5 minute mark, because 2.5's enough. Why 2.5? Where is 2.5? You want to know what 2.5 is? 1 on this side, 1 on this side, 1 on the top. That's 3. What about the center? If you have 4 on this side and 6 on this side, you'd have the center would be 5. Well, we got a problem, because the center is a 0 in tic-tac-toe. But now I'm going to confuse you all. Where do we end up getting all these quarters? When you start attacking things, they break up into 4 quarters. You know, if I put these on top of each other, they do make the Star of David. You do know if I took away this and put these 4 together, I'm going to end up with a stop sign, because there's a space here. But there's more space here than here. But these are all the same size. Once I bring these together, they become your stop sign. And in between, here and here, here and here, hold on a second. Oh, I feel my ring finger. Oh, my ring finger. My other ring finger. Oh, they're 2 jacks holding each other together. Harry Potter trains are coming in. Where are they coming in from? On what angle is the cube? What do I have to look into? This is a republic of a banana. To lick, the pub. To read is the air of the lick of the pub. Anyways, I don't even know where I was, but that's okay, because I was talking about putting these corners together, leaving just enough space for the railroad tracks. Now the question is, if they are railroad tracks, is this the top of the dice here and the bottom is on the bottom? So 4 parts of the tracks are going to point out. And we know in the dice this goes straight through this way, making 7. This will go right through this way, making 7. But now we're going straight across. The reflection is just as good as being straight across. Did you notice if you take a look at these are legs? If I put a little bar from here to here, now we can sit a bar on A, B, C. And then we go to the next Rubik's Cube and put this up here. And we have to put a bar in between. We have to transfer. That would be your hips. These are your legs. You're bending down with your legs right over here. That's your ass, my friends. It's all what's about your ass, and when you bend over, watch out. Because every ass is A, C, and E. Ace. Every day you move is AC/DC, because you're both connected to the same creation. A and B go in to make C, connected to D and F, which makes 10. 10 is a hole. That's it. It's a hole. Oh, it's a hole. There must be nothing there. Oh, maybe there's water in the hole. Water in the hole. Wouldn't that be a fire in the hole? When you put the water, you get the fire out. Fire water, spirit, electricity, electronic mind, hopping down into the Niagara Falls, and then going back up again into the humidity, and finding one of the strands that has to be connected to it. And it connects, because they're all dead bubbles. All they are is electronic bubbles with nothing until their number comes up. They only know their number. And when that bubble hits the number, because it's all about bubbles, it's all about nothing, it's all about the space in between, it's all about what holds you up from below, how important it is what holds you up from below. Yet again, we didn't finish with the train tracks. Which side is the dice on? Which number is pointing up? If 6 is up, 1 is down. But the whole problem is when 6 is up, 2 is all around. Why? Because 2, 4, and 6, 8 on a stop sign never cut the whole corners. So you're either to the left or to the right, and you have straight across. 2, 2, 2, and 2. But you can only grab 2 and look at 1. And the other one on that side has to grab the same 2 and look at you. So you each got 2. 2 and 2 is 4. Each of you are 1. 1 and 1 is 6. You got 6, but you only got 2. 2 and 6. 6, 2, 2, 6. Venus, the veins. Mercury, the blood. Saturn, the decision. Mars, the instrumental. The angel resident of Mars is completely opposite of Saturn. So what do we do with the dice? 6 doesn't run against 2. 6 and 2 run like this. When you put the dice on the side, 1 and 6 are on the side opposite. 1 and 5, 1 and 3, 1 and 2, 1 and 4 will be on the other side. There's always 2 or 4 in between 6. 6, 4, 6, 3. Oh, that's the wrong one. 6, 2, 6, 5, 2 and 5, 3 and 4. Always hanging around 6. Now if you go 3 plus 2, you equal to the 5 on the other side. There is no 6 plus 2 or 6 plus 3. But actually there is, because 6 and 3 is 9. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 and 9 is 11. 5 and 6 is 11. 5 and... Whoa! Wow, was that an error? Oh, probably not an error because I stopped. Now I'm going to have to look again. Maybe I'll find something different than what I was going to say the first time. That's why the error is so great. Because when you notice it and share it, hey everybody, I made an error. Oh, you want to know if I can correct it? So what I was actually trying to say at the beginning is 2. The next track is 6. Is that the way we travel on the trains? Would I go from this track to this track? 1 is in the center of this one because it's completely on the other side as the center. When you put it back in the center, it'll say 1, 6, number 16, or the letter P. That's really a train track. Their opposites really do get Pennsylvania Rail because it is the 16th position. But 16 on the rule, I think will get you states. Will it? 4 away? Yeah, I think you get states. But one the other way, you get Virginia. Do you want Virginia or states? What is in Monopoly with those two? Like I said, I jump into a little bit about everything, but I really don't get everything completed because I'm just one. I'd have to keep writing and writing and writing. I can't. I need people to transfer and write and give me photocopies and so we can go over the same thing 100 times. You know why? Because if I go over it 100 times at 5:58 at night, at 5:59 if I do it again, the minute has changed. So maybe has my thinking. The correctional center is the crowd that surrounds us. We never want to be right. We just want to add in and create a circle of correctness within the center. The center must always be correct. No matter what you do, you must always be correct. You cannot bust the bubble because you bust it for everybody. That's what's been happening right now. In this entire world, what has happened is somehow, the way I see it, before it was manipulation by word, now they're under the ground. Not that they weren't under the ground before in Europe, right around New Zealand maybe. Some kind of connection beneath the earth that grows between Asia and the Mediterranean. Maybe that's why they want to get into Israel, because they know the only way in is there, and they know they can't go in through Asia. So why aren't the Asians stopping them, and what's going on with the Queen? But that's not what I came on here for. Merry Christmas, Prince Andrew. Can't be king this year? You know what? Prince Andrew, you want to be king? You should be like me. Okay? As long as I'm treated like you with respect, as long as nobody walks in my door for no reason and tells me what I'm saying is no good, because they don't tell you what's no good. You have a formation to follow. I don't have that formation. There shouldn't be any formation of me coming out here and bringing out the good word, my own good word. You can read it however you want, but peace is the only way. The only way. And you are king in your own house. You got your own house. You can buy colors if you want. You can draw. Prince Andrew, you can learn the alphabet from the first dot. You can pick up a dice and open it up. It turns into a butterfly. You can open up 2 sides, and it'll be like your wife's maxi pads. If she's not taking them anymore, I don't know. But this turns into always. And when you set it up like this, you have 1 dot here, 1 dot down here, 1 dot over here, 1 dot over here, 1 dot over here. You have a bottom and a top, and 1, 2, 3, 4 all around. Holy Christ. Maybe we should put the world that way. But look, when I hold it that way, look at the angle of the 3. It's not this way anymore, which, I mean, I always call this angle the 45-degree angle because it cuts evenly through all the floors, although it usually, but this is another angle creating 6, but the angle to everything is always like that. All pyramids all around the earth. Every one of these dots is another pyramid. But the most sacred of all dots on this dice is this one right here. 1 and 4. Now I can put the 5 with it. 1 and 4 equals 5. E and N letter. The 3 letters together, okay, the 5th letter is the E. The 1st letter is the A. The 4th letter is the E. Is the D. D-E-A. You ever hear that one before? Then you have 14, which is the letter N. 1 and 4 is 14. And 1 and 5 is 15. And, oh, but wait a second. Creation is in there because we have 1, 2, 3 sides, so that's part of creation. 3.1415. Now 5 and 4 is 9, 3.14159. And those are the 6 numbers in Rubik's Cube. In pi, another error. D, E, 1 and 4 is N. It says end. It says end on the dice. There's simple little things that are on these dice. These dots only have positions. But until you take your pen out and connect them, you see, everybody thinks we connect them. You can connect them this way, you can connect them this way, you can connect them this way. But you didn't connect them anyway. Do you know why? Because it all began with her. All she did is go, I feel like 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Oh, maybe I feel like 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Oh, it could be around 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Oh, which direction are you going, honey? Southeast, a little bit southwest. Not really sure. Southwest sauce going out in that direction be a little hot, right? But then again, all for 1 and 1 for 4. Don't you see? Just look at the white. Look at the white, the way it contours around the dots. First of all, this is valued at 60. This is also the trains, because you can't run into a brick wall, can you? Spots that were already hit, they mark them in football. Spots that are already used and have a story to it, these are your corners, all these spots. 1, 2, 1, 2, the Twin Towers, the X of the Twin Towers. But you really all know that. That's the Twin Towers. They put 1, every one of these dots is 3, plus the space in between, plus the space in between, plus this. I really never gave that space in between a big story. I'm not sure. I don't think. Because I always said the black dot is worth 3, and the space in between is worth 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 3 is 11. I got 11 and 11. But what would I get in the center? The center value is 1. Don't you see it? 1. Anyways, that's not what I wanted to do. My phone is ringing. Okay, I unlocked it. That's not what I wanted to do. I was just, if each of these were 3, right? How many of these do you need to make the Twin Towers? Okay, each one of these is 3 floors. So you would need 10, 9. You would need 10 of these would be 90 floors. 12 of these would be 108 floors, right? And how many spaces in between? 1, 2 spaces in between, right? Plus the roof, plus the bottom of the floor. Now, if you keep adding these up through the 12 cubes that you need, 108, plus the spaces, they will add up to the height of the antenna of the Twin Towers. Now, don't forget, in everything you do, certain things are not counted. You got 6 yards to go in inches. You don't hear that. You got 6 yards to go in inches. No. You have inches to go when it's time for inches. Everything cuts off at a certain number, and then the add-on number is from however it started on the bottom. If you started at 1 on the bottom or 3 on the bottom, you take from the bottom, put it back to the top, or you can measure the top to the bottom, to the middle, and then take the 2 middles, add that up, it'll be the complete center, divide it by 2, it'll equal to whatever's on the bottom, whatever's on the top. A, B, C, C is in the middle, center, C, creation. C, D, E, D is in the middle of E, but that's a 5-day week. We only have 1 day, which is Thursday. C, D, E. If you go the beginning of the week to the end of the week, D is the halfway point. But the days of the week, C is the halfway point, because C is a week work, 5 days to 2 days. So you would have ACE, ACE, for the first one. And after that, it would just say grace for the second one. But it's 1, 3, 5 or 1, 4, 7. 3 and 4 is C and D. C is the part of creation. So between now, 5 and 7, you have 6. And that's as far as you can go in dice. And there are 6 even cards that you can play with in the deck of cards. Also the pull balls, 1 and 3, the pull ball 5, the colors of the sun, mixing up the pull balls, and I can go on. If somebody just asks me that right question and opens up a few roads for me, then I can go on. I can do the work. I just, it's like anybody around me can say, well, what about this? Or how about this? And I can go, oh yeah, okay. Like I can't think of, oh yeah, okay, I'm here. You got to enter it into the computer. If I can't enter it into my computer, I come up with one idea. If you come up with no ideas, how many of my one ideas can I go to follow your ideas because you haven't said a word yet? Anyways, what I really got on here to say is Santa Claus will see all your letters this year. Regardless of whether Santa Claus is real or not real, everybody has to remember like this. When somebody says to you BS, okay, and don't tell me any BS, and they put an X crossing out BS, it shows you that angle that the crossing out is actually a division between the B and the S. They do the same thing in horse racing. They split the colors. The same thing in pool. They put stripes around the balls. Because ball number 14 and ball number 6 are the same color. But ball number 14 is 1 and 4, 5. And ball number 6 doesn't change. So now ball number 6's stripes becomes the color of the sun. Because that's what it's all about, my friends. There's been a red sun behind the curtain for the longest time. These chemtrails, I believe, that they are sending are not really to kill us, but they wouldn't care less, really, because they're an association of Galactica or Federation or of Siamese, whichever way you want to look at it. That's why they had the Siamese twins, the Siamese kittens, the Siamese cat. We live in a world of creation, and we're part of that creation. And why they didn't tell us, why they're still not telling us, what's going on under the ground. First of all, I know nothing. But I am going to tell you, I don't know what to believe, whether Jesus is real or he's not. But people, hold on, understand. But people have put too much notation on church. Too much notation of things you have to do that don't have to be done. Too much notation and in trouble for not praying instead of explaining why do we need to pray. And it's not we need to pray, we have to learn how to love. It's more about the love than anything else. And then comes the prayer. No, the prayer is first. Oh Lord, whoever you are higher up in my head, if you're there, you're there, you're not, but I'm asking myself anyways. What do I have to do to love? I have to communicate. Do I have to put up with all that shit? No, they have to learn to communicate too. Well, what happens when nobody wants to communicate with me? Then you end up all alone at home. So how do you go out and communicate and find the right people? Oh, Lord, what? You're calling me a lowlife? Why are you calling me a lowlife? Oh, because it's all on the computers? Yeah, but they lie. Nobody tells the truth. If you angle right, all you need to do is find one. Right. Okay, I understand that. Okay, but you're not supposed to be there anyways. I said I was talking to myself. He always shows up all the time. Thank God somebody shows up. If they don't show up, I have to make believe. Because if I don't make believe, and I believe, and they think I believe, they got to come here with a white coat. I'm not allowed to say things like that. Oh, I see the man in the sky. You know who told me about him the first time? George Carlin. Told me about him. Even if he was smoking weed and doing cocaine. But that's okay, I learned how to watch all the good movies. You watch any of their movies, Ching Ching Chong? Hey man, you gotta relax. You gotta move quick if you can move slow first. Once you get into the flow of how slow goes, then you go with the flow. Flow, wolf, go, from, form, all the same word. It's all a word of life. It's a life form, it's the flow. It's the wolf, to know, to want to know. Hold on, I'll call him back. J'ai sur l'autre ligne, c'est pour ça que j'appelle. But, okay, bye. I feel like I lied to the guy because I wasn't on the other line, but I was on the other line. It's you. Okay, hold on a second. This is 25 minutes. By the time somebody reaches this part of my video, by the time the 10th person reaches this time in my video, let me look at the clock. It's 2012. We should be by into late January 2013, maybe 14. I got videos that are only watched once in 2 years. So I got to spread it out and slow myself down. Get my hopes up to where I have no hope at all. To where I'm only going forward and making sure that the plan of what I do today, that when it falls back in time, because today becomes tomorrow and today will become yesterday. Oh my God, today is going away. Am I going with it? Ooh, can I go with today? I sure can. If you do good today, you'll be able to bring it into tomorrow. And you can go all the way. Ooh, she must be good. Yeah, she goes with you every day. At night, she takes you to bed, takes away your head, gives you some motherly love. REM sleep. What were we talking? Banana Republic? What's really out there? Why the lies? Why the chemtrails? They need to hide the skies, man. And not only that, you ever see the tuna? The way the tuna is round like this, and the salmon is like this. The salmon goes up, and then he moves back, and he goes up, and he moves back. Because the energy, okay, we have the energy of the light. Now, don't forget, I'm making all this up, right? So we have the energy of the light, okay, that penetrates us through everything. The minute your heart beats, it causes an electricity. I don't know how that electricity runs. I don't know if it causes a bubble, and the bubble goes into your blood, and they start passing in your blood. I don't know how this works. And I still didn't finish with ACE. Okay, so this electrifies your fire. This is God's light, right into breathing. I don't think we're living just on fire, water, the water, the electric, and the gas. Water, electric, gas. Water is with gas and makes electric. Can you create electric without gas or water? Can you have water without gas? So let me get back to Santa Claus. Somehow, a year ago, my computer, see those claw marks? Couldn't figure it out for 2 weeks. I know how it did happen, okay? You see his little face here? He's smiling. Yeah, this is my old computer. You like the what's it called? See the way I put all the triangles and bubbles? You have a club here. You have a club over here. One house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See the shape it is? Then here's the triangle and the 3 bubbles. You see this over here? That was the Big Bang that I think everything happened. Right here. They tied this down to here. The energy burst these 3 out. We had the Big Bang. I think it happened in the oven first. Big Bang? What Big Bang can you see from 6 million years ago? Come on, man. Could be true. I've seen the light for longer than a few seconds once it was off. But Santa Claus, first of all, to me, is Mrs. Claus. And every time you tell me about Santa Claus, I always have to think of Tim the Toolman Taylor. Now, why I say send your letters? Because first of all, if there's a Santa Claus and you breathe them in as the light, the minute you start to think of what you want to put in that letter, the minute you lick that letter and make the movement to mail it, Santa Claus has already gotten your mail. For every marker, for every ink, for every crayon that lives, for every piece of paper. You don't think we have a little paper in here? It chews up the paper, it squeezes it out, it squeezes it out, it squeezes it out, it chews up the paper, and your information goes in and it gets tight. Like pliable gold that comes apart. And it's like a tree in your head. Well, what do you think happens? You plant the seed, it becomes a vegetable. You eat the vegetable, it becomes part of you. Can't that vegetable turn back into a branch inside your head before you delete it outside your ass? Well, who's asking anyways? Don't direct me over to Mars. I've been on Pluto long enough, and I know where Earth is, and I don't want to be there. I'm here right now. We're playing on the big mound. I still think we can be on Planet X just floating around. If we're not, we're on one of the moons. But Santa Claus is going to get your letters. But that's not what you want from Santa Claus. Do you know what you want? You want to have a brain that's going to be able to withstand whatever goes on in your life, that you're going to make all the correct choices and not a choice to connect the love that will never exist. Because you cannot take your money with you when you die. But when you die, you always die with your heart. You are never without your heart until the day you die. And when you die and depart, you take that little bit of gram, whatever light that was in that heart at that last moment, and out your skin, out your whole body, and out your nose, your mouth, your ass, and your ears, and your eyes. It'll come out your whole body. The hair on your hand, does it stand for nothing? But underneath this earth, they're changing the waves. The magnetics are being changed, and they've all been warped, just like in previous worlds. And even if it wasn't a previous world, it could have been an element from the exterior. And they're no longer being able to catch all of us. And now they're at a distance, and we're at a distance, and we're going real fast, and we leave the ground, breaking up the matrix, breaking up the matrix. Every plane that has crossed the seas has broken up the matrix more than once. It has burned the matrix up, and it is tired, and it's time for a change in an area it's never been before. Will it be where we are, or are we completely leaving the system? Or will the earth just turn around, and again, the mouse went up the clock? So the eensy-beensy spider knew he can go up the water spout because the mouse was busy before time begins. Do you know that? Before time begins, there was no water. So the spider went up the water spout. He's not made of water, is he? The spider really made of water? Not enough of it to say he's a spider at all. Remember what the fruits and the vegetables and the little vermins are made from. Everything is a liquid of some sort, fitting in another element in its place. But the water in French is an O. It's a circle. Is it going into the circle? Is it water? Is it a formation? What is the O? But the spider knew because she had 8 arms. Or 6 and 2, 3, 3, 1 and 1, 2, 2, 2. Whichever way it was, she knew that life wasn't in existence. The eensy-weensy spider went up the water spout. So you have to revert all these spider issues. And wait a second, DC Comics, AC/DC, 3 and 4. ACD, acid, ACD, connecting the 2 worlds on acid, 3 and 4, 1 and 6. Acid. If you don't think acid has anything to do with this, of course it does. Acid is ACID. It's eternal. It's definitely showing you the truth. There's something out there. Don't forget, I've mentioned in many of my videos, when I get to a very little amount of a certain chemical in my body, I see moving pictures in my head. I can right now do this. Oh, it's brighter than shit. Oh, it's sparkling. Oh, it's a long, long, long road. It's a long road. What's at the end of that road? Boy, would I like to know. Is it evil? Is there any good in this world? Does God exist? We always have to look at that we are God to begin with. We are gods to begin with. We can, as people, need no God to bring ourselves together. To bring ourselves the only light of freedom and love is to know that the communication is the only love that will keep us together. The only communion of all will be the love. I see within my eyes the staircase, the spiraling staircase going down and down. Wow. Wow, I'm still seeing the sparkles now. This is crazy. I see myself online broken up into pieces. Oh, fuck. This is sick. So like I said, you don't need to buy gifts for Christmas. Christmas is for everybody, like they said at the beginning, to remember the truth. We are all the Ankh. Isn't this what Pharaoh does? Because it's the Ankh. That's how you make the Ankh. Is there a God? Is there no God? Is this world going to recreate? Well, if they can live forever, why can't we live forever? Why can they have a God and we can't? Why do they have to keep making new people and getting rid of us? Or did they make us for a one-time period? That was it. For 5,000 years, they were making the same kind of man. Or wait a second, who woke up first? Who woke up first? Was it 5,000 years ago, or was that all implanted? Don't forget, everything can be implanted. They can put dinosaur bones. If they created us, just like Aldous Huxley said, okay, and I never read his books. I read one word and I knew right away he was telling the truth. I don't like to say this, but we're going to have to bring it to a close. Raphael 7286. Oh, wait a second. Hey, TV, how you doing? Doing fine. You know why? He ain't got no color. He's all gray, and he ain't ready to play. He ain't turning on. He ain't turning on. I now made it 2 years without a TV. Wow. Now I'd like to try a few years without smoking. But I heard that inside the nicotine and inside the ant who lives below the earth, now this is really fictitious, of course. Somebody told me there's more nicotine inside an ant, okay, than we can get out of one puff of the cigarette. And apparently we now have nicotine in us too. They're always changing us. We live till 81. They want to build us up till we live 581. Do you know why people lived till 400 in the ages before? Because nobody knew how to calculate zero. How old are you? I'm 35. Okay, you're 22 now. Metric time. Raphael 7286. On a constellation of Pegasus that is below everyone, that holds everybody up. I bid you a good day. Hey, Sam, they're coming on in, aren't they? Yeah. Why don't you tell them to get those glasses off? We're going to shoot a couple of games of pool, maybe play some cards. Yeah, we're going to be betting $1. Oh, $1. Is that a quarter or $1? You know why? Because in the olden days, or in metric time, when you say I'm betting $5, you're only betting $1.25. May 5th. 5 equals 1.25. Can't figure out why. 5 by 5 by 5 is 125. Where was I? $5. If you put it inside an apple cake, if you put it inside a plum cake, if you put it inside any kind of cake, once you cut that cake up in 4, because the basic eternal is 4. 4 by 90 is 360. In fact, there's supposed to be more than 360. There's something missing. You know what's missing? The core. When you add on the core, the minute you become 360 in whole, you're actually 450. In fact, you're even higher than that. But you're at 450 minimum because you've just been born the angle of 90. Plus 135 equals 225, which is 15 times 15 equals 225, which is actually 2 times 225 for the AB world, and then the C world gets only 200. Excuse me, the A world gets 225, the B world gets 200, the C world gets 175, but it doesn't matter, it's in the B world we live. If you add it up, it's 625. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 is 625. To make the 4 corners of that B world takes 1 plus 40 times 625 equals 25,625. Just like that. I don't know. You see, sometimes I'm all over, and I hate it, and I have to tell you the truth. That the thing is, if there's no real primary question, and I start going down a road, I'll be down another road. And then I don't know when to stop sometimes. Raphael 7286. Have a nice day.